Rich Talks, episode 85, Monday, April 7th, 2025, 6:31 a.m. We've always heard fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it, fake it till you make it. I'm from Atlanta, so a lot of people take that and run with it. If you know, you know. But I'm not talking in the sense of, you know, completely faking who you are in order to manipulate somebody else. You know, I'm saying sometimes you have to trick yourself, sometimes you have to trick the universe, and sometimes you have to trick other people to be able to see yourself or them to see you in the light that you want to become or you want to achieve. Disclaimer, faking it till you make it is all about intention. Again, faking it till you make it is all about intention. Like I said, if you're doing it to manipulate somebody, it's probably not going to work out so well in the long run. But if you're doing it because this is who you want to become, this is who you're graduating to, this is who your higher self is, if you completely understand the thought process of that, where you are and who you are today is not who you are and where you are going to be tomorrow, then this falls in line with you. If you understand that just the pure act of being confident, even when you're unsure, helps you gain the trust of others. Have you ever been asked somebody that was unsure about directions? Just simply like that. You ask somebody, hey, which way is McDonald's? And they're like, it's you be like, okay. And you know you're gonna pull right up to the next person and be like, hey, which way is McDonald's? You're not gonna rely on that person's answer because they seemed unconfident. Now you pull up to somebody and be like, hey, where's McDonald's? And be like, oh, go right there, bust a left, then bust a right. It's gonna be right there on the right hand side. That person was more confident when they answered you, so you're gonna be more likely to go with their directions. So it's the same thing. Say for instance, right now you might be working at McDonald's, you might be driving Uber, you might be working at Target. You might not have your dream job, dream career, or you want to be in life. Cool, right? So if somebody asks you, what do you do? You can say, oh, I work at McDonald's, or you can say, you know, remember, like I said, all of this is about intention. Meaning, are you doing this because you want to feel in the shoes that you want to become? Or are you doing all this because you want to manipulate somebody? If you're doing all this to manipulate somebody, then the back end, the universe end, all the extras that's supposed to move in and help you become that person. If you're doing this to manipulate somebody, it's not going to come. It's not. The universe don't move like that. If you're doing this because this is the person you want to become, now the universe is going to start guiding you and leveling you up and bring you things into your life to help you become that person. I'm telling you. Remember, confidence breeds competence. Again, confidence breeds competence. Now, behavior shapes identity. By consistently acting as if you already have it, as if you already are who you want to become. You, like I said, you start aligning your mind, your habits, and your environment to the version of yourself that you see. So if you are faking it till you make it, meaning you're believing in yourself before you even arrive, if you believe that you're this rich person, if you believe you're this successful person, you're going to stop hanging around environments that's not conducive to your end goal. You're going to stop being in the hood. You're going to stop being around people who don't do nothing with their day. If you want to be healthy, you're going to stop kicking it with people who don't go to the gym. You know, you're going to be good at money management. You're going to stop hanging around people who's frivolous with their money. Remember, it's consistent action. It's not just a one-time thing. And this is why I said it's not about manipulating. It's about truly aligning yourself with who and where you want to go. And all this is natural. It's just in the flick in the switch of the mind. On the other end of the spectrum, you see how many people want to be a thug, want to be a savage, and all this, right? So how many times did they start calling themselves thug and savage, and now their actions start aligning with their thoughts and how they want to be seen and viewed by the world? It all starts with the thought, and then everything else falls in line. Remember that it all starts with the thought. So if you want to be rich, if you want to be successful, start with that thought, and then the actions will start aligning. You start going to the nice neighborhoods, just to even drive around and see how they live and see the cars that they got, see how their lawn is manicured. See, it ain't cutting no grass, it's manicured lawns. You see the difference? Manicured lawns versus cutting the grass. Huh, hit different. Like I said, everything gonna start changing. Your speech gonna start changing. How you view life gonna start changing. How you spend money gonna start changing. This is what happens when you fake it till you make it, and not to manipulate, but in order to align yourself with where you want to go. Perception influences reality. Again, perception influences reality. People respond how you present yourself. Again, people respond how you present yourself. I remember when I first started, getting my feet wet a long time ago when I was audio engineering, right? I used to be in the music industry, producing, engineer, all that, right? I started getting my feet wet. I wasn't as confident when I was telling people, yeah, I make beats, or yeah, I mix, and yeah, I can engineer, yeah, I can do your session. I wasn't so confident. What did I do? I started practicing, and then one day I was confident. I wasn't so confident as everybody else, but I had to fake it. It was a client, they were looking for an engineer. He said, hey, can you mix it? I said, yeah. Was it the best work? No. Was it my best work? No. But I said I would not have the opportunity if I continue, to not perceive myself as being in the position that I want to get. I have to see myself there. Even if the work is not going to be as good, I have to give myself that opportunity first. If you wait for yourself to arrive there to get started, you'll never get started because you'll never arrive. If that makes sense. If you wait till you get to that destination in order for you to think that you are that person, you'll never get there because you already have to think that you're that person before you even get there. That's how you get there. So in my mind, I had to trick myself, and sadly I had to trick the other person by being confident that I could do the job. Was it my best work? No. To date, of course not. At the time, somewhat, but no. But I had to make that opportunity. Now when you have the opportunity, you see where you need to grow. You see where you need to do better, tighten this up, tighten that up. But you will never know those things if you don't even jump, if you don't even try. Again, you will never know if you don't give yourself that opportunity. And how do you give yourself that opportunity? By giving yourself permission to be confident. Now, we're not saying lie. We're not saying that somebody ask you, hey, do you know how to fix a boat? You be like, yeah, I know how to fix a boat. We're not talking about that. Again, that's manipulating because you know good and goddamn well you don't know how to fix no boat. So why are you even trying to fix a boat? What we're saying is things that you want to align with, people that you want to be, places that you want to go. People can know. People will know. We're not saying that we experts, but are you able to get the job done? Going off on a tangent, but hey, remember, perception influences reality. How people perceive you will bring about your reality. How you perceive yourself will bring about your reality. And it all starts about, like I said, how you see yourself. If you see yourself as this confident person, you will receive opportunities to prove it. If you don't see yourself as this confident person, if you don't see yourself in that position already, the opportunities will never come. How will they present themselves to you? How? They can't. The universe can't bring them opportunities to you. Reality cannot bring those opportunities to you if you're not even open up to it. If you don't even believe that you can do it. Hey, one thing I like about faking it till you make it is that you can just keep it internal. It doesn't have to even be external. You can keep it internal until it starts spewing on the outside. For real, it'll start spewing on the outside. What I mean is this: when you becoming this person that you want to be, and you don't tell anybody, you just holding it in, you believing it in yourself, and you living as if. Remember, you're not telling anybody, and you just living it inside, and you keep going and going every day in and out, you believe you're this person. Eventually, you're not going to be able to hold it in. Eventually, it's going to start spewing out. It's going to really become infectious, and it's really going to become who you are. So what I'm saying is you have to have momentum. You have to start somewhere. Little by little, you have to start somewhere. Remember, faking it till you make it doesn't mean that you have to be perfect. A lot of people wait for perfection in order to start a perfection, the perfect time, the perfect this, the perfect that. It's nothing's going to be perfect. Nothing at all is going to be perfect. You don't have to have everything figured out. And this is why I like faking it till you make it is because you just jump. You know you don't have everything in order. You know everything's not perfect. You know it. But you're like, well, shit, I might as well start now. If I start now, then eventually my ships will start coming in. But if I wait for my ships to be here, like I said before, if you wait for the desired outcome to be there, it'll never happen. Like I've been saying all along, and I want to harp on this one more time, is that you have to embody the energy of who you want to be. You have to embody that energy. If you want wealth, love, power, success, you have to carry that energy. You have to fake as if it's here already. If you want love, you have to fake as if your partner is already here. You see what I mean? That means you might have to start living your life a certain way, not have wandering eyes, carry yourself in that manner as if your spouse is already here. Carry yourself in that manner as if your job is already, the desired outcome of your career is already here. Meaning you dress in the part, you walk in the part, you talk in the part. You making sure you're groomed and keeping yourself up as if that part is already here. You are that manager. You are that business owner. You carry yourself, you walk as if. It was a story about a guy who was telling me, he said that he worked at this job. And it was like this assistant manager, or he wasn't even assistant manager at the time. He was like a little bit below assistant manager, but not like a regular employee. Supervisor. And he would come in there dressed to the nines, suit, everything, confident. He would handle himself as if he's the manager. But he was just like a supervisor. He would, be cool with the customers and all that. And then one day, I believe he said the manager quit. Boom, manager quit. So they brought in a new manager. So when all the customers started coming back, the next business day, whatever the case may be, the customers started coming back. The new manager presented himself saying, hey, da 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 da, dee dee da, whatever the case may be. And all the customers like, where's the other guy? The assistant manager, not the old manager, but where's the supervisor? We like that guy. So everybody looking for him, looking for him, looking for him. He handles all the business. And then guess what the owner does? Promotes him to manager. Why? Because he was already living that part. He was already there. People already saw him as that. People thought he was the manager. He wasn't. He was just a supervisor. But he handled himself in that manner. He conducted himself in that manner. He thought of himself higher than where he was. So everybody perceived him to be that person already. Whether he was or wasn't. Whether he was trying to or wasn't. I'm telling you, you could be broke as a joke. I'm telling you, you could have 2 pennies in your pocket. But if you walk confident, you believe you're confident, you believe you're going somewhere, you believe you're going to have something, you're going to have it. And if you don't necessarily have it now, you believe it's on the way. But the perception that others will give you will be that of what you think of yourself. 100%. If you want to be looked at as a thug, guess what? The universe and people will look at you as a thug. If you want to be a successful business person, guess what? The universe and the people will look at you as such. You have the power to shape your reality, is what I'm saying. You have the power. It's all about your thoughts. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to be? You have that power. Anyways, it's your favorite cousin, Rich. I greatly do appreciate y'all for listening. Rich Talks, episode 85. Y'all be safe. Love and blessings.